Hey, this is Brian again here with a quick cooking tip. I'm going to show you today how cast iron cookware can be non-stick. A lot of people believe that it is not. I'm going to cook some eggs today in a cast iron skillet and show that it is a non-stick type of cookware if you know how to cook on it correctly. Many of you have non-stick pots and pans with Teflon coatings. That's a chemical coating that's applied to those pots and pans, and I'm convinced at high temperatures it probably releases some not so good chemicals for your body. Other nonstick coatings out there are ceramic, and that's certainly better. I prefer cast iron because to me it's easy to cook with, it lasts forever, but it also is healthy for you. If you research, cast iron cookware actually introduces some iron into your diet that helps your blood and keeps you from being anemic. But if you know how to cook on cast iron, it can be non-stick like anything else. So I'm going to, again, cook some eggs here, but I'm going to show you how I prep. What we've got right here is I've got a cast iron skillet, one of my many, and I'm prepping it by putting it on simmer or low heat to melt real butter. And I'll talk about the real butter in just a moment. I've got a silicone spatula, I've got my scrambled eggs, and I've got some cheese. And so the reason that I use real butter, again, is for health benefits. The man-made stuff, that margarine crap, it's terrible for you. There's studies now that show that real butter in moderate amounts is actually healthier for you. I usually use coconut oil for just about all of my cooking, and again, that's, much healthier than just about all the oils out there. It's a non-hydrogenated oil. So I either use real butter with my eggs, coconut oil, or a combination of both. I'm using just straight up butter, real butter today. And what I do, again, it's low temperature, and the butter I put just enough to put a thin film on the cast iron. Now here's the key to cooking scrambled eggs or eggs in a cast iron skillet so they're non-stick. Low temperature. Cast iron skillets take a while to heat up, but they hold the heat for a long time. So if you turn the burner on high and that skillet gets screaming hot, even if you turn the burner off, it's going to hold that heat and just completely nuke your eggs. You want them to cook slow, but cook all the way through. So what I'm getting ready to do here is I'm going to turn up the heat just a little bit, just above low, and then I'm going to pour my eggs in, and I will show you how to cook and then flip the egg, and it'll be non-stick. The reason that we don't add cheese to the eggs before we put it in there is the cheese, as it melts, it will try to stick to the cast iron and has a higher chance of burning, so we introduce the cheese right at the end. So stand by. Okay, so what we've got at this stage is I have the skillet heating on low till the butter was melted, and I've already poured in my eggs. Now one way that you can test to see if your skillet is warm enough is take the edge of your fork that you scramble the eggs with, dip it into your scrambled eggs, and then put a drop on your pan. If it cooks immediately, it's too hot. It should hit the skillet, and in about 2 to 3 seconds you should see it start to set up. That means the pan is warm enough but not too hot. Now in this case, I don't know if you can see it, but if you look around the edge of my eggs there, it's starting to turn white. What that's an indication of is that the egg is starting to set up, and that means it's starting to set up underneath as well. Okay, and this is a very small skillet compared to others that I have. Some others are extremely large. This square skillet, though, is just the same size of a piece of bread, so if I want to make breakfast in the morning. So what I'm waiting on now is I'm waiting on this egg to set up, and then the way I will test it is I will run my silicone spatula around the edge, and you can see that the egg is starting to pull away and stay solid. It means it's starting to set up. But that's just a test. The reason I use silicone is silicone assists with making it non-stick. It doesn't hold the heat, and actually is a much easier way to help turn this over. Okay, so what I can do now is I can actually run my silicone spatula with that flexible tip all the way around these eggs, and you can see where it's not sticking. Now, the middle is not quite set up, but I want you to remember something. The pan is going to help keep the form of the eggs. So what I want to try to do, and I'm trying to do this one-handed, which doesn't always work, but I'm going to try to pick up the egg, and we see it's not quite set up yet. Okay. Again, the form is still there. We just got to let it get a little bit more firm. So I'm going to let it sit for just a second. Alright, so I've gotten my silicone spatula under my egg. I'm going to lift it up and turn. And as you see there, absolutely nothing stuck to my skillet. At this time, I'm going to turn the burner off. I don't need any more heat being put into these eggs because I didn't put a very thick layer of eggs. That other side is already cooked. It only took it 15, maybe 20 seconds at the most. Got my little pan or my little plate right here. Going to get this close. Going to slide this over. Take my cheese. Of course, I knew I was going to mess this up with trying to do it one hand. That's one thing about these eye touches. And there we go. It's going to melt. We can put that on a piece of bread. Skillet, not a thing is stuck to it. All you have to do for that skillet right now, take a paper towel, a dry paper towel, wipe it out. The residual butter and oil that's left on there will keep it preserved so it won't rust. If you do this, you get good at it, you can actually make an egg sandwich in less than 5 minutes. A good egg sandwich, less than 5 minutes for breakfast. So anyway, give it a shot. Remember, a little bit of oil, just enough to coat the pan. Low heat, medium to low heat, not high. Turn it off just a little time before you're done so that the residual heat in the pan can finish cooking whatever you got, and you're ready to go. Hope this helps. Remember, check down to the bottom right of your screen for my little icon and subscribe to the channel.